pulling the plastic off the back. And the plastic is recyclable too. And the plastic comes in 3 2-foot sheets, and just to speed up our little demo today, I've taken off 2 sheets off of each side. So then you just fold it over. There's this side and this side. And this is our knife that we use, and it's just got a heavy-duty utility blade. It won't bend or flex when you're bearing down and pressing through it. All you've got to do is just start cutting on top of both pieces. And I like to make sure that your blade is set deep enough, and I can pull this up and see that it's cutting through both levels. And then you just kind of put your weight behind it, stay on top of both levels, and just push it all the way through, like that. And then you're going to pull these pieces out that you've cut. And I also like to point out that the advantage of this, if this was a dryback product and you spread wet adhesive, you'd be pulling the adhesive up when you make the seam. But on this, you don't have to worry about it. And then you're ready to go. And you would just remove the sheet off the back, and then just place it over the bad spot that you're wanting to get rid of. And I'm going to cut a real crooked, curvy line to try to hide the patch I'm cutting. And I'm cutting through both layers at the same time, just like I did on the seam. I feel like I can hide it better if I do some kind of crooked cut. It will be less visible. And you just come back around to where you started, and you pull that little edge up, and you can see there, and you kind of shoot for that edge. And then just pull this away. And then what I like to do is I like to take and fold this back, just half of it like this. And then I'm going to take my knife and cut it in half. And just pull this side out. And then I would actually take my seam well and run that same little bead around the edge, all the way around. And then I'm going to drop this new piece of Powerbond back down in. Just get all the edges down. And then hold it down and pull out the rest of the piece that you cut out. And again, put the rest of your seam well around the edge, and then just drop everything back down in. Get all your edges down, and then you could take your tractor the air out from underneath it, and your bad spot is gone. Very easy to fix. Find your bad spot and just cap this down on top of it, and just do the same thing. Cut that circle out, and just pull it out. Take your seam well, put your little bead of the seam well around the edge, grab your new piece, and drop it in, and the bad spot's gone. Yeah, and these are very easy to install because they come, something like this, a square or a rectangle, and it'd be very easy for an installer just to come and trace cut these out just like this. Okay, and then just pull it off and then pull out the piece. And again, if you want to be permanent, you take your seam well, put that little bead around the edge, and then drop in your new piece. And this is something that you don't have to do when you first install. You can come back, 2 or 3 years later and drop something like this in. You just take your knife and trace cut the new piece in. And this is something that really is pretty quickly done. And then continue with your seam well all the way through. And then just drop your other piece back in. Just like this. And you create a new design in your floor.